It is Saturday, October 26th, and you are watching You Don't Watch Sports right here on the Feo Grande YouTube network. I am Bill Smith, and I am joined as always by the man, the myth, the legend, Feo Grande himself. Oh, Mari Ellis. Oh, Mari, how was your sports week, good sir?
Yeah, it was eventful. Lots of good stuff going on, especially with the MLB, which we will touch on momentarily. But yeah, good sports week. You?
Oh, it was an amazing sports week. I love this time of year, and we are going to talk about it here on You Don't Watch Sports because we talk about three topics just to sprinkle a little sports information into your casual conversation as we are the guiding light to the sea that is sports talk. Topic number one, Omari. As I told you last week, baseball is hot in these streets. We have the two biggest teams playing on the brightest stage. Not only that, they are the two best teams in the league this year, the two best records. This doesn't always happen in the playoffs. You have
rarely.
the two best teams, the two most popular teams, whether anybody wants to debate it or not. It's just facts here. You have New York, you have Los Angeles, and they have game one on Friday night, Omari, and it promised and it delivered. We had such an amazing game. Both starting pitchers came out and balled. Jack Flaherty for the Los Angeles Dodgers, not expected a great ton, but still gave them 5 1/3 of amazing pitching. And then you had the Yankees horse ace Garrett Cole, who went 7 strong, not allowing a single run. Then the bullpens happened. This game was back and forth all game. Managed to get to 2-2 in the ninth, Omari, and so we had to go to extra innings for game one of the World Series. How incredible is this?
Very.
Yankees score in the 10th to make it 3-2. And all the Dodgers have to do is score 2 runs to finish this day off. The Yankees load the bases for one Freddie Freeman.
Mm-hmm.
First pitch, over the wall, walk off, grand slam, game one of the World Series. It's 5-year-old boy in the backyard shit, Omari. It is the boyhood dream realized, and it's the bottom of the ninth. 2 outs, down by 1, bases loaded. like that is the things dreams are made of, and it's only just game one of the World Series. We still have more of these to go.
You kind of called it last week. You said if Freddie Freeman plays, the Dodgers can take this, and sure enough, Freddie Freeman goes out there making it look easy, coming off the bench from injury, and gets his first pitch back from injury. He hits a walk-off grand slam. That's crazy.
It's absolutely crazy, Omari. I will say that for a brief window here, the Yankees were about ready to show that they could win without Aaron Judge. Hard truths for Yankees fans right now. Aaron Judge did not perform well last night. Aaron Judge overall in the playoffs has been kind of quiet for Aaron Judge standards. They were about ready to show that they could do this without Aaron Judge performing. Aaron Judge had 3 strikeouts at the start of this game. So that is both a silver lining and a negative. Because you can say to yourselves, if Judge turns on, well, we were right in this game, and our best player didn't even show up for it.
Judge decided to be a jury, but next game he may be the executioner. We will see.
That game happens tonight, Omari. It is going to be Carlos Rodon for the Yankees versus Yoshinobu Yamamoto for the Dodgers. We're still in LA for this one before we head back to New York for game 3.
How many Japanese people do the Dodgers have on the team? Is it just the 2? Or
they have 2. Okay. And then Tommy Edman is Korean, is part Korean. Okay. So yes, they do have a Eastern Asian fan base that is absolutely tuning in for
I knew
this
about
for this
Shohei. I
game.
did not know about
Yoshinobu Yamamoto.
yeah, Yamamoto. It's an awesome name. Very
Yeah.
Japanese name
Yeah,
too.
it's a great name.
Yoshinori Yamamoto. Jesus.
So
Yoshiyama.
yes, we will be tuning into that game tonight, and then we have game 3 on Monday where we head to New York. First World Series game in Yankee Stadium for several years. I think we're close to a decade now. So excited to tune into that again. The spectacle of these two teams in the grandest stage is a good thing for baseball.
Oh, yes, indeed. Anything that gets eyes on it, like the other two sports that get all the eyes on them in America. I'm still rooting for the Dodgers, but I want it to be a series. Be the spectacle you're meant to be.
Absolutely. It's not a, it's, it, you know, it is, and the old adage is it's not a true, it's not a series.
Until
It's
someone
not
wins on the road.
correct. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Cause it's, other than that,
What
it's
you
just,
expect? Home teams.
yeah, home
team.
teams win. And this series might just come down to that. Like the fact that the Dodgers get to bat last 4 times versus the Yankees 3 times might be all it takes.
Home
These teams are so
advantage.
Close.
Yeah.
All right, Omari, let's move into topic number 2.
So yeah, speaking of spectacles, we'll go to the NFL. Yes, it is about to be week 8. We are 7 weeks deep into the NFL season. And yeah, there are some stories in there. KC, well, I told you last week they're coming off a bye week. They got plans and they will continue to play their strong, steadfast, mistake-free football and show them other teams, the Niners, that yes, the Super Bowl wasn't a fluke. And sure enough, that's what happened on Sunday when the Chiefs defeated the Niners in that game, in the Super Bowl rematch. However, the Niners, it's not all sunshine and rainbows. Sometimes it's just bad stuff. The Niners got more injuries to pile on top of the Christian McCaffrey thing, which, you know, they say the Madden curse isn't real, but oh, you can't see it because it's blurred, but there he is, number 23 for the 49ers, Christian McCaffrey, on this year's cover of Madden. They say it's not real, but damn, it is highly coincidental that that keeps happening to teams and players. Also, speaking of KC, they are going undefeated because they still haven't fully woken up yet. They still haven't fully woken up yet. Patrick Mahomes is running 50-yard plays because he does jukes on the sidelines because people just sit there and, oh, I can't know what to do. And he dodges them, makes them look stupid, goes up the field for a touchdown. That's what happens. It's got nothing to do with the fact that you can't hit quarterbacks when they go on the sideline. It's got to do with the fact that he's better than them, and you know it. Bottom line is, they just got even better because they say they ain't got any receivers. Well, they just got DeAndre Hopkins, a man who's so good they nickname him Nuke. And the nuke's gonna go off. Big weapon of mass destruction for KC.
Okay, Omari, I'm looking forward at their schedule. November 17th, they're playing the Bills.
Mm-hmm.
Always, the Bills are always going to.
them yet.
The Bills haven't beaten them yet, but the Bills are always going to score big, are going to consistently score big. So there's always a chance. I'm just saying, like you got the Raiders this week, Bucks, Broncos, Bills, Panthers, Raiders, Chargers, Browns, Texans, Steelers, Broncos to finish the season. I'm looking at the Bills on November 17th, and then I'm looking at potentially the Steelers and the Broncos if the Chiefs playoff seeding is solidified at that point.
Fair. The Bills probably have the best chance out of those teams left. Broncos is a divisional game, so maybe Mo Picks can pull out a win against them. But considering they nicknamed the quarterback Mo Picks instead of his name Bo Nix on account of
Did,
the
did did
interceptions he
the
has,
Broncos beat them in the regular season last year? I feel like there was a surprise moment.
maybe that's why I say you can't. Division games are division games. You can always say you got a chance
Hmm.
because the teams hate each other and stuff happens. That said, Panthers ain't doing shit to nobody. I'm surprised they got the one win they did. They have benched the Red Rocket. It was indeed a dud. Bryce Young, get your ass back out there to die now, because they've given up. They tapped out for the season. But speaking of injuries, I mentioned the Niners. You mentioned the Bucks. Bucks ain't a threat to the Chiefs no more. They also got hit with a lot of injuries this past Monday night, including Chris Godwin, Mike Evans, and others. You know, the people that you need to be throwing to. So it's not good. Deshaun Watson, we don't need to like talk about it too much, but he's injured, so it's Jameis Winston time in Cleveland. So we'll see if they can start eating some W's now. You know, as Jameis likes to say, if you haven't seen that clip. But I got one more question for you, Bill. Why is it heavily rumored that Tua will be starting in either week 8 or week 9? I
I have from 24 hours ago that the Miami Dolphins confirmed that Tua Tagovailoa clears concussion protocol, will play Week 8 versus the Cardinals.
I wish him the best. I don't know why, buddy. You don't need to. You've proven that you are a real man, a real tough man out here. But at the end of the day, it's his life. Hope he gets out there and he goes like 30 for 35 and 5 touchdowns or some shit. And no sacks. Please, no sacks. But yeah, that's the NFL. Look, if you're not a Chiefs fan, looking like you got dark times ahead. If you're a Dolphins fan, at least if Tua comes back and plays, you can get over the fact that KC's taking your record this year. So there's a silver lining. Speaking of silver linings, a man who's got the gold lining on his life, LeBron James in the NBA, made history this past week when he finally played a game with his son to be the first father and son to play in an NBA basketball game. Some people try to take away from this accomplishment because, well, he definitely had a lot of influence in making the situation happen. At the same time, we get mad when dads don't do things for their kids. That said, they got it out the way. It was only a couple minutes. They were up when they made the substitution for Bronny. He played for a couple minutes, got out, and they moved on with their life. They were just like, let's not just have this whole thing follow us all season. Will they, won't they? And they won that first game anyway, so it's not like him putting them out there did it. But Gilbert Arenas brought up a good point because people like to point out whenever Bronny has a game with 0 points. You've heard of Gilbert Arenas, right?
Of course.
Yes. He made a point on his podcast a week ago where he's like, I did not score my first NBA points until January 24th, whatever year. Like his first bucket. I think he got like a free throw before that, but his like first bucket where he's like, oh, okay, I'm playing. He's like, I didn't have my I belong here moment until January. It's October, people. Most times, second round picks, number 55, don't do a lot their rookie season. Give them time. That said,
Can you name the other two father-son duos in the major sports?
There's the Griffeys.
There's the Griffeys, Ken Griffey Sr. and Ken Griffey Jr.
I don't think the Ripkins got to do it. So no.
NFL is Jackie and Matthew Slater.
Oh, I was not going to guess that ever. What team do you
know? For the Rams.
Ironic. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Uh,
Jackie was an offensive lineman who played 20 NFL seasons from 76 to 95. So that's how he managed to end up playing with his son.
yeah,
That can
that'll
happen
do
when
it.
you play for 20 fucking
You
years.
pretty much have to.
Yeah.
Like that's the minimum requirement. You have to play long enough for the son to be born and grow up and be a
And
playing coach.
honestly, have a son at a young age. Like that's
Yeah.
also kind of a requirement. Is you need to pop out that son in like your early 20s or
Or
late
late
teen.
teens. Like I'm pretty sure LeBron has allegedly been with the same woman his entire life. So yeah, they probably got started early when he got that career because he started his NBA career at 18. They're like, all right, what are we
Gotta
waiting
ask you,
on?
Omari, now that we're talking about NBA, it's a tradition here for us to do crazily wild, too early, we don't know nothing predictions.
All right.
So let's do them. I want to hear who are your two teams in the NBA finals, who's going to win, who's MVP of the season, not of those finals.
All right. Full disclosure, teams I want to see in the finals. I do not think they're going to make it, but I would love to see the Lakers and or Warriors on one of those sides in the finals. That said, neither of those teams is doing jack shit anytime soon. Sorry. The past few years, it was I was like, this is LeBron and Steph. They're gonna Western Conference Finals. I can't do that. The Joker is too serious. You got Shea Gilgeous Alexander and the Thunder. So I'm gonna say, you know what? I'm gonna say I'm gonna be unhappy this year, and the finals is gonna be Stan Kroenke's Denver Nuggets on the Joker Revenge Tour against the Boston Celtics, running it back, and the Celtics make sure they remind us that no matter how much silver lining or golden lining some people may have, the rest of us just have to live through this. And the reality is that the Celtics don't look like they're being stopped anytime soon. There, people call me a hater and say that I just say that no one's going to win just because they're good or whatever because I hate them. No, I can hate somebody and still acknowledge that they're good. Yeah. MVP of the season, it ain't going to be Joel. I don't think it's going to be Jokic either. Fuck it. I'm gonna say Giannis comes back. No, he hasn't been doing good. Luca. This is Luca's year.
You stole mine. You stole mine.
This is Luca's year. He's been getting gypped the past few years and being ignored while outstanding these other MVPs. This is his year.
Mm-hmm. So for me, I'm going to say, I mean, I'm going to agree with you on the Eastern side of things. I think it's the Celtics league until somebody tells them it's not their side of the country. On the West, I think I think we might be able to see some new powerhouses this year in the Mavericks and potentially the Thunder.
Mavericks
I
made
think
it to the finals last year.
I think that's true. That's true. Mavericks made it to the finals last year. I think both of them are looking strong. My birdies are telling me going back to the Eastern side of things. I am hearing that the Orlando Magic could have a potentially very strong, young, surprising team on their hands. Not necessarily a superstar in the bunch, but just a lot of very good, solid players.
Paolo Banchero, I thought.
Are you saying that he's a superstar? I don't know if I would put him on like an A tier.
Emerging, like that's the
Right. No, they're an emerging team. I think at the end of the year, maybe there's somebody that you're talking about putting on that A/S tier of NBA players, but they don't necessarily have one right now.
Oh yeah,
but
I'm talking into the season.
Everybody's B tier kind of thing.
Yeah, by the end of season, I was kind of agreeing with you,
Yeah.
but I'm saying if it is somebody, it's probably that guy everyone talks about. It's either Banchero or it's the guy they got last year. If that's not Banchero,
Yeah.
you would
I
think I
mean,
know more.
or what do you call yourself? An Orlandinian? An Orlandinite?
That's a good
Uh,
question. I don't
um,
even know what we call St. Louis people. St. Louisans?
yeah, St. Louisan.
Oh, I knew that better than Orlando.
um, yeah, it might be a good time to to adopt your home team fully in this season. I'm hearing solid things, but I'm gonna go ahead and commit that the Mavericks get it and Luka gets MVP. I was gonna pick it Luka as MVP before you picked him as the MVP,
No, okay.
and I thought about switching over to a Tatum or who is our big guy in Thunder.
Shea Gildress Alexander.
Yeah.
Um,
Alexander.
Look
Um,
for that Jaylen Brown dude though from the
right.
Celtics, because that motherfucker has been being snubbed since they won the championship. Because he wasn't allowed on the Olympic team. Tatum wasn't allowed to play, even though he was put on the Olympic team. And people have just been talking shit on both of them since. So we got angry Celtics coming through this season.
All right, sir. Well, that covers our three topics this week. If you like hearing us ramble about nonsense, you can hear us ramble about a lot of different stuff. On Mondays, we have mock drafts and wrestling fantasy leagues for you to enjoy occasionally on several Mondays throughout the year. And then you have on Tuesdays, we do This Guy Hasn't Seen, where we pass media back and forth, usually movies, but sometimes TV shows, documentaries, concert films, all kinds of different stuff that one guy has seen, the other one hasn't, to broaden out our visual horizons a little bit. Wednesdays, Omari chats with a friend of the show, Super Jazz,
Super Jazz.
over on Whatever We Want, where they talk about just that, whatever they want. That happens every Wednesday. On Thursdays and Fridays, we're still working on it, but on Saturdays, you can see us right back here. You Don't Watch Sports, now going live every Saturday. We'll work out the kinks on that.
Yeah.
We're going to work out the kinks. All right. Omari, what else you got to tell?
Well, I also have a Twitter and Twitch at Giotavi. That's Giotavi. Come on in, stop on by. Streaming every day to some degree. Sometimes it's an hour, sometimes it's like 4. But at some point during the day, you can find me on my stream.
At one point, were you saying every day to 40?
Every day 240.
Every day 240.
Yeah, don't worry about what the 240 means. They'll figure it out.
Till you're 40?
Maybe.
That's a while. That's a commitment.
Yeah. I mean, I've done 1 year before.
Yeah.
Let's see if I can do more than 1 year. It's a good structure. It brings structure back to things.
Yeah.
And to the life. So yeah, but that's what we got. So,
and you might start doing a little bit of streaming over here, right?
Yes, if I can find a way that obviously dual streaming is a thing where you can stream on both Twitch and YouTube. When I figure out how to do that, yes.
Perfect.
Until then, I gotta switch back and forth. But yeah, you can still catch us on this channel or catch either way. But that said, we will catch you next time. Adiosness.